San Luis Obispo, real estate podcast. Doesn't know what to do with his hands, Mr. Hal Sweasey.
I felt like Bill Murray. Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to pause for dramatic effect. So I'm pausing for dramatic effect.
Well, your cadence is really enticing.
Thank you.
It's called
I
a
appreciate
pregnant pause.
Okay. Well, that's JT. JT, how are you, sir?
Awesome. Are you kidding me? Get to be here with you guys.
And our newest member that's back again, Mrs. Bobby Kelly. How are you?
I'm lovely. Thank you for having me.
And Hal, we have this tall gentleman in the building.
Yes.
And who is he?
6'7", drink of water. 6'7".
6'8".
6'8".
6'8".
I always sell you short.
You're not. You're not 6'8". There's no way.
6'7" and 7/8.
See,
There you go.
I go
Yeah,
6'8".
exactly.
Have
yeah.
you ever stood next to him?
I have.
Yeah. Well,
I'm by
taller than you are.
tall people all the time.
Yeah, he's got his own weather system up there. Yeah.
You've never heard that before, right?
So that
No, yeah.
this is Graeme Baldwin, our top buyer's agent on the team, born and raised.
Correct? In
As
Arroyo
a
Grande.
top buyer's agent.
No, not raised at that. No.
Oh,
But he was
Locally.
the national champion junior triathlete.
Triathlete, yes, correct. When I was 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome.
He was 6'7" when he was 8 years
Yeah.
old.
Claim to fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I could have done that with 8-year-olds when I was 30 in the 8-year-old division, but
Yeah,
not
there
at
you go.
8, not at age 8.
Hey, well, next month, Graham's going to be celebrating 6 years with us.
That's awesome.
And, you said he was our top agent. Do you know that in year 1, he was our top agent?
Wow. Every year
In year
since.
2, in year 3, in year
Wow.
4, in year
Okay.
5, in year 6, he was our top agent.
Nice. Okay.
So we're glad to have you here, Graham.
yeah.
Thank you. Glad to be here, guys.
I mean, it's okay, Graham.
So he did not peak at 8.
He did
Sounds
not.
like
He
it sounds
did
like
not.
life's been
No.
okay for you.
Yeah,
He's been great.
He hasn't
Yeah.
peaked yet.
And
Are
he's
you
not the
kidding me?
only agent. We should go on record.
JT, I like to knock him down a little bit every once in a while,
Yeah.
just to make him, just to motivate him.
we still have
Just to
time.
Yeah. We still want him better. Hey, I'm okay. Got a little off track. Hal, what are we doing today? Now that Graham's here, what are we doing?
Well, and then, Bobby, when we introduced you on our last podcast, I didn't realize that you are also born and raised here, but even more than born and raised, right? You've got family that goes back pretty far in San Luis County.
Yep, absolutely. My grandparents came to Atascadero. I don't know what year, but it was a very long time ago. They were some of the first families there, and they started the first grocery store in Atascadero, Village Mart.
Village Park.
Village
Wow.
Mart. Where is that? Where is it now?
Oh man, over by the police station in Atascadero, somewhere
Okay.
over there, I think. Oh,
Did they put it near the police station for a reason?
I don't think it was the police station
okay,
back then.
okay.
No,
Just
not
There's a
not with their
police-
track
Oh, there is a
record.
police station. Obviously, yeah.
You should know.
Obviously.
I should.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
So so that had to be in the 20s or 30s, probably?
I don't know.
I'm probably your parents' age, I'm guessing. Well, no, they're probably a little older than me. Anyway,
Yeah, we're
so
calling
yeah,
them.
that first store is probably 20s or 30s, I'm guessing. Maybe earlier than that. That's cool.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you your first generation?
I'm first
Yeah,
generation.
your folks were born. Your mother was from South Africa, right?
South Africa. My dad was born in Germany.
Oh, I didn't.
Wow.
A German citizen or a U.S. citizen? Or,
He was born on a British naval base, naval base in Germany during the war or after the war.
So he's British.
He actually has his British citizenship, not his German, since he was on the British base. Correct.
And then you obviously, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you
Wow.
have dual citizenship, is that right?
I've got tri-citizenship. Correct.
Tri-citizenship.
Triathlete, tri-citizenship.
Yeah.
You got-
Yeah.
That's- you're the
Three
first
kid-
guy I've ever
got,
met.
Got 3 kids.
Yeah.
How many?
Do you think that's
One
great?
wife.
One wife. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. We kept it one.
Keep. And just in case everybody wants to know, Central Valley. So shout out to all the Central Valley
Yeah.
people that are
Yeah.
listening, because that's where I'm from.
How many generations in Dinuba?
Sure. Yeah. One. Single.
One. Yeah, I'm a single generation.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Anyway, so I had another. There was something else I wanted to grab. So okay. So what are your 3 citizenships?
So it's going to be it was European. So but
EU.
the EU,
Now
but then
it's
after
res-
Brexit, so now I'm only
British.
just British. So now I can't travel to Spain and Italy and all those fun countries on that passport, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So thank you for Brexit.
Yep.
South African
Okay.
and American.
Oh, U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Look at
Okay.
that.
That's
Oh,
good to
good,
know.
Good
now.
good for you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's an important one.
So
Yeah.
where are you headed next month?
Yeah.
I will be heading to South Africa for 3 weeks for a family reunion.
Wow.
in March.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, you got to
fancy.
sell some houses.
Yes.
Gotta get busy.
He's been busy. How many homes have you sold or put in escrow this month?
This month, I put 6 in.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, Graeme, it's always good for us, because he's dealing with buyers day in, day out, writing offers, doing the whole thing. So it's we want to bring Graeme on because he provides an insight that is more involved than most. Because it's 6 homes, 7 homes in a month. That's a lot when you think there's 2,000 realtors in the county and about 2,000 sales.
How common is that, Bobby?
That's not common.
Not common.
No, that's you're probably in the top 5 of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
not probably. I see your list
Okay.
your name every month.
Yeah.
So last month we talked about, from each one of our chairs, our perspective on, what we were seeing and feeling in the marketplace, and a little uptick in activity on the internet, little uptick in activity on listings,
Sales,
little
pendings.
uptick in
Yeah.
sales. We were just wondering what you're seeing out there, because you're out there dealing with buyers every day. Graeme, are you feeling kind of the same thing, or what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, there's definitely been an uptick in buyer activity. As everyone knows, last year we had interest rates, hovering around 8%. So we are still working with buyers, but it tended to be a lot more cash in the market. There still is a lot of cash in the market, but at the end of last year, 80, maybe even 90% of the people I was working with were buying cash.
Really?
Correct. Yeah.
I never, that didn't register. Well, thanks for sharing, because we have such a high level of cash at 50 or 60% in the county.
Right.
But yeah, okay. Wow, 80 or 90%.
Hey,
Yeah.
Graeme, I'm still interested. Where are people getting the cash? I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, I know.
From your pension plan.
Yeah, my pension plan. Yeah, that's why it's going down.
But yeah, but this year, as we start out, January 2024, we've definitely seen a lot of buyers now that we have rates kind of in the 6.5% range coming back. So I think there's going to be, there is pent-up demand from buyers right now that kind of weren't in the market for the last 6 months at the end of 2023. So I've talked to a lot of the great lenders that we work with, and they've all said that their mortgage applications are up significantly just in the new year here. So I think there's going to be a lot of new buyer activity. Well, there already is, and I think it's going to continue to increase as we continue it through quarter 1 and into quarter 2. So hopefully that also, with those rates, will also kind of loosen up the inventory as well. Hoping that some sellers will realize, okay, well, maybe I can jump ship now from my 3 and go to 6.5. It's not as bad from going then 3 to 8.
Right.
So that's what we're seeing. So definitely, I think it's going to be a strong first, second, and third quarter.
What do you tell that buyer that's got a little bit of cold feet now? Because it seems like we do have a subset of buyers that are always waiting for something to change. The market's going to go down. Interest rates are going to go down. I want to wait for all those things to come together in my perfect world. What do you tell those folks right now?
Well, I tell them exactly what I just told you now is, with interest rates being at 6.5 and mortgage applications going up, what does that mean for that buyer? More competition, right? Now they're going to be fighting to get that house. And instead of there being, right now only 2-3 offers on a place, we might be back in an environment where we're looking at 5-6 offers on places again. So for a buyer now, and they're serious that want to buy, sooner the better, because prices aren't coming down, and only thing that's going to go up is competition.
Yeah. Graeme, you're good because, I know we got so much good response about the job you do, but why do you think you're so effective at getting offers accepted? Because your acceptance rate's really high.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is communication with the listing agent. I don't just take somebody's offer and email it over to the listing agent, cross our fingers, and wait to hear back. I'm in constant communication, asking them how many offers they have in hand. I fish as much as possible to find out where those offers are at, so where we need to be. Because at the end of the day, I want to get my clients the house, right? My job is to get the clients the house for the best price and the best terms, right?
Sure.
But I tell them my job is also to get you the house. So my job is get my clients the house and get the listing agent's clients the most amount of money.
Right.
So it's a win-win for everybody. So.
It's interesting because I'm usually on the other side of that where offers come in, and I just find it fascinating, that somebody would just take something so important as an offer on a home and just, quote unquote, mail it in.
Right.
Right. And, I've heard you talking to other agents, and we've worked on some transactions obviously together. and just finding out what's important in terms of not just money but price, and finding that information out. And it's too bad because it's just communication, right?
Exactly.
And we always talk about it in our office meetings, right? Where do most of the problems come from? Communication, or lack of it.
Lack of it. Yeah.
Right? And that's not just a text or an email. So I think what you do is so good and so helpful for your clients, and you find those things out. And plus, I think you've built good relationships, because aren't you then, when you get an offer, you're trying to sell that agent on your offer, your buyer, the loan program, everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot more that goes into it than just the price. Obviously, contingencies, figuring out how to be creative with those, so that the seller is most comfortable with the offer, and then also just who they're working with is with getting their loan through.
Yep.
Making sure making sure that the good local lender that's got a good track record, and that lender is also reaching out to the listing agent, vouching for the client, saying letting them know that they're solid, they're underwritten, ready to go. There should be no hiccups. So all those things from all different angles. So
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Hey, the fun part of this podcast is it's not rehearsed.
Right.
We kind of make up our questions on the fly. So, Dave Ramsey says, Dave Ramsey, the finance guy.
Yeah, sure.
Dave Ramsey says how important it is to select an agent based on experience. I never understood that. I selected agents back before I joined your team. I selected agents based on referrals, and I didn't know a thing about the agent. And yet, when I hear you talk about getting offers accepted, gosh, how important is it for your clients to know your track record? And so, if Dave Ramsey said, "Go look for an agent with experience," what questions, Graeme, would you pose to a real estate agent that you were interviewing to be your agent?
It's experience, right? How many times have you done this, right? So,
and when you mean how many times have you done this, you're talking about, what's your activity in the marketplace? How many transactions do you do in a given time period, like a year?
correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. How many times you've done this, and how to get those offers accepted, and how, and your strategies going forward that you've used in the past that prove results, right? And so if you've only done it, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, you probably haven't seen as many things that pop up during the transaction, during the negotiations, and know how to deal with them and get over those hurdles.
Yeah.
I know a little bit when I ask some of these questions because I see you every day. But when you talk about building an offer, it would seem like to the outside world, building an offer would be a template and you fill in the blanks, right? Here's the price, here's the escrow period, here's this, here's that. You just fill in the blanks. And what I hear you doing is your offers are filled with incredible creativity. And where does that come from?
Doing it a lot.
So it's back to experience,
Yeah.
and doing the number of transactions and
Yeah.
and figuring out a way to get the buyer what they want and satisfy the needs of the seller as well, right? To make it a win-win deal.
Exactly. Yep.
Repetition.
Yep.
So, Graeme, you used to swim, or you still know how to swim, right?
I still know how to swim.
Yes, and you. In fact, I met somebody downtown that has recruited you to join their. He's going to swim across Lake Tahoe,
Yep.
Oh,
right? And he
yeah.
goes. And this guy's a great guy, former commercial real estate guy that owns a lot of property in town, and wants us to help him out. And so, he was going. I've never seen Graeme swim, right? So 6, 7, and 7/8, right, coming across the pool. He goes, guys, like just flying across the pool, and I would love to see this, but I mean, I got to imagine you had to practice a fair amount.
I'm very
Swimming.
used to repetition. Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then, but you know how to do a backstroke or whatever the other strokes are, regular. What do you call them?
I can do all the strokes.
Or all the
yeah.
strokes, the swim strokes.
Are you as fast
time
as
swimmer.
Michael Phelps?
I am not as fast as Michael Phelps,
Got it.
or else I probably wouldn't be selling real estate.
Yeah. You bet you can beat him now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
But you're better at real estate than he is.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is
But
true.
but I got to think at a certain level, the what you're working on is so small and nuanced in your how you swim.
right.
The swim. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So what I see with Graeme is the nuances he's learned by doing this so many times. The little things like a defensive lineman, how they hold their stance, or pushing a little on the left to get a leverage and go right, or whatever that is.
Right.
So it's not an uncommon process for him.
You know, Bobby loves it when we use sports analogy.
I do. That's my favorite.
Soccer.
But it sounds like you're kind of a baseball player where, you know, baseball season's 162 games. You're playing all summer long. You're playing every day. And that sounds like your world where you're playing in the real estate business every day, right? You're showing property, you're writing offers almost every day, right?
Yep, that is correct.
So if you were on a baseball team, before the game starts, what do you do?
Warm up.
You warm up
practice,
and you practice,
Yeah.
right? Take
Swing.
batting practice, you take infield practice.
BP.
I was just wondering, in your business, Graeme, how often do you practice?
Yeah, I mean, we're always practicing here. You know, sometimes when I get busy, I'll forget to practice. But, you know, a lot of times I think we're always here working on our skills. You know, JT, you obviously have been, you know, crucial to my development since I've been here. Hal, obviously, that's, you know, obvious as well. So, yeah, we take it very seriously here. We take our job seriously. You know, we always say we take our job seriously, but not ourselves. And, you know, every day getting better and, you know, being that, you know, just refining our skills so that we can serve our clients to the best of our abilities. And it's fun. It's so much fun. And we see it in the results. And yeah, I said I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Yeah, I think most players in the real estate business only go to the games. I don't think many of the people in this industry practice. So it's fun to watch you practice, and what happens with practice comes professional growth.
Yeah.
Right? So it's fun to see that happen inside of you the last 6 years. So congratulations on you putting in the effort.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? What does practice consist of? Is it like finding the shortest route to a listing, or a house that's for sale, an open house? Who can set up the signs quicker?
Well-
I mean, where from an outsider's perspective, like what kind of practice makes Graeme so much better?
I'll jump on that a little bit because you know, like John brings such an interesting perspective on what we talk about. And when talking to a buyer, it's just, you want to find a house? Okay, well, let's go find a house. It's not that. It's just letting them know too what the benefits are. And when you hit a roadblock, going, okay, you have two choices here. You can go A or B, and this is what A looks like, and here's what B looks like, right? And simplifying it, but putting that away so it's digestible for a client to understand, because it's overwhelming, right? So Graeme and I could chat all day to a client, but then they'll be confused, right? So it's kind of really just boiling it down. Listen, you have an option here. You can put a little bit more down on your deposit, or your pay down points, and that leads to this kind of rate or this kind of rate. Well, we can't afford it. We don't have the other $200 a month. Okay, well, he's going to have options for people. So helping him get from A to B easier.
I see.
It's kind of like a coach. Again, he's coaching, right? Don't you think that?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Can I take a run at that answer, Jeff? I go back to the definition of the word sell, and it's from an old English word, sellin. And do you know what it means?
No clue.
Most people would think it means to take, like to take one's money, right? But the definition of the word sellin means to give your time, your knowledge, your expertise, passion, enthusiasm to help people get what they want. So most of the time when I'm in a practice session with Graeme, we're practicing on how he can, through a really great line of questioning, help his client self-discover what it is that they really want when they're searching for a house. And as you develop those skills of asking your client what they want, you have a better chance of giving them what they want. through your activities.
So it boils back to what you guys were talking about before, communication. Such an important dynamic on that, right? And I'm sure Bobby could probably attest to this. No two real estate agents are alike.
Right. Well, that's actually one of the things I was thinking when you were saying that is also knowing who I think people usually, I don't know about sports guys, but you would want to know who you're pitching to. You would want to know who's on the other side of that. And when you do the amount of deals that this team does, you know the personalities that you are working with. You know a little bit about the listing agent. You know how they like to, communicate, how they like to be handled. So I would imagine that's helpful too when you're, trying to figure out how to really get your client's offer to the top of the list.
It reminds me too of you use the word leader for Graeme as the person leading the buyer to help them get what they want, right? And another synonym for a couple of leadership styles that are used the best to get the best result. These two leadership styles are used in conjunction with one another. And one is coaching, and that's just merely asking questions to find out what they're looking for, right? Mm-hmm. And the second one is being authoritative. Not authoritarian, authoritative, which means, hey, come with me. I know how to get us to the promised land. Put your trust in me, and we'll get there together. And when you combine those two things, that's where real leadership and coaching occur, and that's what I hear Graeme doing.
Yep. I mean, we've got Graeme here, but we're talking a lot. But Graeme is a very humble person. But I think one of the things too why I love working with Graeme is, somebody will give me a call and say, "Hey, we're thinking about selling our house." And I allude to Graeme, and he's going, "Okay." He's already calculating who he has in his head, and he says, "Hey, we got a heads up on this. We're not sure it's going to happen, but there's a good chance we might have this thing available. And is that still what you want?" Absolutely. So I mean, he's. I guess in swimming that's cheating because you're jumping in the pool before everybody else. But in real estate, it's providing good value, right?
That's not cheating here.
Yeah, no. So I think that's great, and I also think it's so fun because we do collaborate so much. Because Bobby, when you say real estate's a pretty individual occupation for many ways. I mean, Keller Williams kind of is different, but in general,
Right.
You're on your own, right?
Typically, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I think you guys were such a good fit with this company, because we try to really promote the team aspect here,
Right.
and you really can help your client from working together.
Yep.
They're the ones who benefit for sure.
Yep. And so between Graeme and Dakota and Sharon, other agents on the team, everybody on the team, the collaboration I think goes a long way. And boy, he learns stuff and brings it in, shares it with us. We share some things with each other. I think we all get better. I mean, can you give an example how that collaboration has benefited some of our clients? Like situations where that's come up?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, between you and the Dakota and Sharon, everybody upstairs,
Our customer service
team.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes down to even just come down to, let's say, requests for repairs, right? You've got Dakota upstairs that's closed. How many transactions were you now?
1,000,
Yeah,
whatever, something.
Exactly.
A lot
of transactions. So if I have questions, about how to handle something on the request, Dakota's done it. He's done it more times than I have because he's
Right.
done it for every single. He's done all your transactions, mine, all the other agents' transactions.
Right.
So you have that wealth of knowledge of how he can, hey, Graeme, well, why don't you do it this way, and we can put it on the form this way. That's gonna,
Right.
That's, it allows for me to go back to the clients and explain it in a way that I might not see it the first way.
Right.
And it's a win-win for everyone, right? Because now their offer and their request is stronger, and it wasn't necessarily my idea, but it was Dakota because he's done this so many times,
Right.
And vice versa. So.
Yeah, we're drawing on hundreds of years of knowledge combined.
Yeah.
I've got the old brain, Dakota. You guys have the young brain. But I'm just saying,
Right.
he is so good at that specific portion. Sharing with the
Extremely.
listing. Hey, we're going to put this in the counter offer. Well, what about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, and it's automatic because we're selling the same place. And Bobby, no disrespect, but industry wide in the county, what percentage of agents do you think come to the office? versus work from their home these days?
20%.
20%.
Yeah.
Right. And Graeme, I mean, when we're working from home, guess what? We're it's not the same.
No.
Right.
That's valid.
So the
yeah.
the environment we create, the information we can get is so timely. It's nice to have vendors that are available, like the escrow, the title, the lender, the inspectors. But here we can do that so quickly, and I'm just starting to realize how valuable that is for our clients, and it shows up in the answers we can give them and the speed in which they can give them. Hey, we were talking about that a few minutes or yesterday. The speed of the market. You were talking about what it was like 6-12 months ago helping a buyer versus today, and what changes did you notice? Because I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. So we were coming out of an environment in the last 12 to 18 months where with working with a buyer, you had to move fast or else you weren't going to get the property, right? And you were basically just giving the seller everything they wanted. Like I joked, like even your firstborn child, it was just like, just give us the house, right? And we're really not in that environment anymore. You don't have to be in that environment, maybe I should say.
Right.
My mentality is to still kind of stay in that environment because it gives you a competitive edge.
Sure.
But still, I have to check myself sometimes. Be okay, maybe we just need to take a step back, take a couple deep breaths. We have the time now.
Right.
We don't need to just accept this offer, this counter offer right away. We have
Right.
time to maybe sit down and maybe put another counter offer back that's maybe going to get help the buyer a little bit more.
Right.
And the seller doesn't have as many offers to choose from right now, so they're willing to come to the table and talk about that. So it's a breath of fresh air, but at the same time you don't want to take your foot too far off the gas because it's still a very competitive market. So you definitely want to you want to stay strong, but you do have a little extra time to kind of take that breath.
Yeah.
And really make sure you're representing your client to your fullest ability.
Yeah. A little more balanced, right?
Sounds like an art form. Yeah.
Well,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but even still, good properties, whether there's a recession going on or whatever, somebody's going to come in and it can happen very quickly.
Very.
Right. So that is a fine balance for sure.
Yep.
It's interesting because you just sometimes like, whoa, look at all the activity. And other times like, what happened to the buyers for this property? You never know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we could be back in a market that you described as 12 or 18 months ago before the end of the year again.
Oh, geez.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Buckle
Fasten your seatbelts.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Have fun on your vacation.
Are you taking the kids?
Yeah.
Yep, we're all going.
Yeah.
Oh man. How long a
moly.
flight?
On the way there, it's not too bad. It's two back-to-back 11-hour flights.
Ooh.
And then on the way
You're right. That's not bad at all.
on the way there,
It's not good either.
yeah.
Oh
On
my
the-
gosh.
On the way back, it's a almost 17-hour flight on the way back, and then a 5-hour after that, which is easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
17 hours.
It's a
With 3 kids.
And this goes back to the whole practice concept. I've noticed my son plays basketball, and your son plays basketball, and you're the coach.
Correct.
So he's had to deal with a bunch of first and second graders for the last several weeks, and that's all in preparation for what you have to deal with on your
22-hour
travels, right?
Exactly. Yep. Getting ready.
Well, have fun.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Have fun. Be careful. All right. Anybody else want to share anything before we wrap this up?
No, I'm just glad virtually 6 years ago, Graeme and I were able to join forces. So it's been it's one of the best decisions I ever made. So I appreciate having you on the team.
Same here. Thank you, Hal.
That was thoughtful, Hal.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. Thank you for everybody that's watching and listening. Graeme, you're amazing. So is everybody else on this team. We will talk to everybody next week.
Sounds great.
See you later.
Okay.